When I first came here, we actually literally hand wrote the name markers out on a piece of paper to go into a darkroom to physically print the image of the name on the film. Then after a while, and it was literally just a day sheet, so a piece of paper, we used to write the name, the examination. It used to take us quite a while to do, probably 5 minutes, 6 minutes per patient, just to physically put them on the register. Then I went to a system called HOSREP, which was like a dummy terminal, so it's a DOS-based type computer program, which was very, very cumbersome, very awkward to use. You used to have to use keystrokes like J for jump or M for merge, and if you couldn't remember those, it was a very difficult thing to do. And again, while it wasn't much quicker than the paperwork, at least it was some kind of a computerised thing, so we could easily get reports back. But then when CDN came on the line, of course, it went over to the Windows-based system, and most people know the Windows package. Even Mac people know the Windows package because they're very, very similar. And we probably cut the entry time down to 2 or 3 minutes to get them on the system, probably even faster actually. Yeah. Now, of course, with the introduction of EMR, which is electronic medical records, we actually get a digital printout of the request. So we just see a digital name come up, we literally drag that name over to the time slot that we're going to use them for, and it brings all the information over for us. So we can actually enter a patient in about 10 or 15 seconds. So you can imagine the speed difference. The workflow is just amazing. Whereas it used to take us 5 minutes, 10 minutes to get the paperwork done. By that stage now we've actually x-rayed the patient and they're gone. Because as I said before, it's no processing of films. So literally you put the cassette underneath a bar reader, that goes to the CDN, it matches up with the patient's name from the RIS side of things, the CRIS side of things, and we've got an image within 20 seconds.
In the previous process where you had a film, clearly one of the issues might have been when it came time to get a report done, you had to find that film, you had to get it to the radiologist, and how long did that
It took a lot of arguments here. When I first came here, we used to take, say for inpatients, because that's the majority of our work, we'd take the images, we'd send the films to the wards with the patients, because the doctors wanted to see the films at their bedside. Inevitably, they didn't use a viewing box like they're supposed to. It's the old way of lift up a film and look at it through the light, which is not the best way. However, when it came then time to try and get them down for reporting, that's when you started having the issues of missing films. One of the doctors might have taken them to his surgery, or they might have taken them upstairs to theatre, and then they've just left them in the change cubicle, or they've left them on the back seat of their car. And quite often it could take you, a week to 2 weeks before you'd actually get a report of an image you took. And quite often the films never returned, they were just totally lost. Then I brought in that we wouldn't release the films, which caused a big stink, so the doctors had to physically come down to X-ray to look at them. But I couldn't do that with the emergency department because they were just too busy, so the films still went round there. And inevitably they got mixed up in different patients' bags, and then the doctor said he couldn't report this because it was the wrong film. So you had all those issues, but the lost films were the biggest issue.
Yeah.
Now, of course, digital image, no such thing as lost films. As soon as we've taken an image, they can see them anywhere in the hospital, anywhere in the world actually with the CDN system. If you've got a demilitarised zone outside your own network, which we have, works brilliantly. So now, quite often when we've got patients from ED that transfer into Sydney, even though we have printed films, or we might have done a CD for them with the images, they quite often still forget to send them. They phone up, no hassles, there's no repeat study, they just get on the web, they can see the images. So, excellent system.
What sort of turnaround times do you get now with digital reporting? Do you get all of your scans reported on the day that they're taken, or is it...
Everything's reported on the day that they're taken, yes. Unless, of course, it was 11 o'clock at night. We don't have a 24-hour radiologist. We have a radiologist that visits here 3 times a day. But, I'd say within 2 hours they're reported. I'm not such a good example because, as I say, I don't have a radiologist on site, but radiologists that are on site, I'd say it would be within 5 minutes. If you've taken a film of the images, it would be reported. And you can't ask for faster than that.
No,
now, while they might not be typed, they've got the verbal. And that's where we seem to win out here. We've always got a verbal. They can always get the verbal on the web. So even if you've got a shortage of typists, they've got the verbal.
And because you're part of a wider network, obviously we were talking before about how you're doing typing work for some of the other hospitals. I'm assuming the reverse applies. They do some of your work through the network?
They can on the system. I mean, it doesn't happen at the moment because I'm the fortunate one and I've got 4 typists and I've got the most typists in the region. It's just lucky, I guess. But so we're doing typing for Bathurst, Orange, Parks, Forbes, Cowra, Mudgee, Wellington. So whatever the girls see on the system, they start typing. Obviously, my work is priority because they are my class, but obviously we don't mind helping out. If there's an urgent report that they need typing, they just phone up and it would be done within a few minutes. So I can't really fault the system.
Oh, that's good.
The only fault I can possibly say is the internal IT network. Our network is slow. It is not a CDN issue. It is literally the wiring, if you like, here. We just have slow connections, and that's hard to beat. And it's that hinders us the most, really.
Okay. Good. Well, thank you very much, John. I appreciate it.
Thank heavens.